that's new. Right, okay. Good evening, everybody. It is the 24th of May and it is Heart Nations training. My name is Emma Stevenson. I am an area manager with Arbonne. And for those of you who don't know me, I think there's one or two of you I haven't met. I've been with Arbonne for about 4 years. No, 3 years or 4 years now. I can't remember. Sally will be able to tell me. And 4 years. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about the 90-day cycle. Now, this is something that I feel really helped me understand why sometimes my goals were too big for the month, or why my business wasn't quite catching up with where I wanted it to be in my mind. I feel like at the moment, there has been so much happening for us all. We have had to take some time where we almost just need to find what we need to be doing daily again. And the 90-day cycle is all about that. It's all about understanding that small little things consistently in 90 days will get to your goal. I will be speaking from experience, but I don't want to keep using the word me and I the whole time because I find it bugs myself. So God knows if it bugs anybody else. But I am speaking from experience when I'm talking about this. My journey with Arbonne has been like this. And the biggest thing I can tell you all is stay consistent and don't overstretch yourself. Don't make your goals so big that they're unattainable. And that has been my biggest flaw, I think. Anyway, I'm going to share my screen. There's all sorts on here, so let me just find. Here we go. So, the 90-day cycle, simple steps to get to your goal. I hope everyone's got a pen and paper ready because I'm going to go through how you make your 90-day cycle, how you make your plan, and just make it so that you guys, it's achievable for you. It fits into your daily life, but you're doing the things that maybe you haven't quite realized you should be doing, or you need to go back to basics to what was working for you before and you've forgotten about it. So the first thing, like I was just talking about, is setting your goal. You need to make it achievable. It needs to work into your life, and you need to let go of previous attachments to the goal. Now, when I say that, sometimes, for example, someone will go for area and it won't happen. So if you set your goal for this 90-day challenge or for your 90-day cycle, if you set your goal of something less than area qual or area, don't beat yourself up for that reason. It's a stepping stone. And then you do your 90-day cycle again and you do another goal of it being area or it being area qual. So for example, when I wanted to go region last year, I didn't hit that goal, and I haven't been able to bring myself back to a smaller goal because I feel like I'm taking steps backwards. Up until this point, that's how I felt. So don't feel like you're shrinking your goals. Just remember, you're making your business more consistent, and your stepping stones are just as important as that big goal. So every single little thing you do every day counts. So set your goals, have a real think about what you want to achieve in 90 days. As I go through this training, you'll understand that the 90-day cycle, you could say to yourself, at the end of the 90 days, I want to be an area. You need to say to yourself, at the end of 90 days, I'll be area qual. Because the way the 90-day cycle works is those 2 months of build-up will bring you the 10,000 QV in that last month. So the 2 previous months might be DM bonus and consistently DM bonusing, and then you'll go area qual, and your fourth month will be area. So break it down like that. Don't expect to be a full area in 90 days if you're starting again in a way, shall I say. I'll explain that in a minute again. So map out your 90-day cycle and understand the cycle. So the first thing is, if you're anything like me, my business has taken a big pause. I haven't been doing much. So I'm using this week, whilst I'm still going to go absolutely nuts and go month end and all in, I'm going to use this week as my prep week. I need to go back and look at my contacts. I need to look at who I need to contact for parties. I need to look at what I did before and analyze what I did that month when I hit my biggest month, and prep this week as exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. I say you could start tomorrow a 90-day cycle, but you haven't had time to analyze what worked for you. You haven't had time to figure out, you might need to go out and buy some samples. You might need to go and get your catalogs ready to go dropping. You might need to get some files sorted on your computer. You might need to get some parties set up and understand how your 15-minute parties work. Use the week, this week, and it's a good time really, because obviously the first of the month is next week. So use this week as your prep week, get sorted, get organized, and get on the ball with it. Your results will show on average around the 50th day. So when I say that, this is why I said about a 90 days, and don't make your end goal, when I'm using area as the example again, don't make your 90th day full area, you're an area. Make it as area qual, because what happens when you're doing these 90-day cycles is it opens your mind to the 90-day path, okay? You know that you're not just going to be stuck in a 1 month goal. You'll start doing these activities. You'll analyze what you need to do, what gets you the best results. You'll start doing the activities, and sometimes you can get frustrated because in 30 days you're not seeing the results you want to see, which is why you look at it as a 90-day plan. I don't know why it works. It's something to do with your mentality. It's something to do with looking forward. But around the 50th day, it might be a bit before, it might be a bit after, you will start to see your results. They will come from nowhere. It will be somebody you'll have spoken to a long time ago, will be watching you, and they'll be like, actually, can I just try that protein, please? And it'll all start coming in all the time, and you'll have no idea where it's come from. Day 90 is your end goal, like I said, but when I'm saying about going area qual, it's so that you're giving the full 90 days so much consistency, and there's not pressure on yourself to hit that first part of area qual on the 60th day, because that's intense. If you've not been doing a lot, to then go from doing, 2,000 QV to 10,000 in 60 days, that can be overwhelming, especially with everything that's going on in our lives right now, with work, with families, with everything. So give yourself, Rachel's favorite quote, and I love it, give yourself grace. Don't put the pressure on yourself and feel like you've not achieved that goal when really you could give yourself an extra 30 days. Okay. So consider your timeline, exactly like I've just said. And the biggest thing you have to do is believe in this. You have to believe that this is going to come around for you, because if you just know, having this map in front of you, having this roadmap of 90 days, you can be set that if I do this for 90 days every day that I've set out, this is going to be my goal. And it becomes an affirmation, it becomes your truth, and it happens because you know that if I do this, this, and this, I'm going to achieve this. And it just becomes your mantra. So just believe in it. So work backwards. You've got your goal, and you need to break this goal down of how you're going to achieve this. Now, Jade's the queen of this, but look at how you're going to get that QV, and how are you going to get those 330 days? Are they going to come from 15-minute parties? Are they going to come from sample drops? I'm going to go through something with you just towards the end of how I did my biggest month and exactly what I did. But to plan this training, I went back and had a look, and I would highly encourage you guys to look at your biggest month in Arbonne and try and understand what it was you did, and try and remember what it was you did to get that QV. What mental state were you in? Were you doing miracle morning? Were you sending samples out? Because what sometimes happens is you find a new idea and you jump on that new idea, when actually sometimes those things before could have been working for you well enough. This business is yours. You do what works for you. The ideas that come and what other people do is, you can try it, but try not to stop what you're doing and what works for you in the process of trying something new, because that's where sometimes it can tilt, and maybe not to the good, like down way. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, it allows you to understand what you need to do each day. So by working backwards, you can figure it out literally to a T daily what you need to be doing. Set your plan up and tell everybody important to you. So you need to tell your family, whether it's a small goal or a big goal, the people who are important to you. Every day, I need to make sure I do this, this, and this, and this. And at the end of it, it's going to achieve this. So tell them, because then when you're doing that and you have that time for yourself to do it, no one's going to bother you. They're going to understand it's important to you. And you're just going to have that time to work and be free with it. So personal development, we hear this so much, but in your 90-day cycle, you must include personal development. Your business won't grow if you don't. And I used to hate that before I got into personal development. I used to think, oh, for God's sake, how does this work? I've had a hair salon before and I never did personal development to grow my business. Well, that salon shut because my mindset wasn't in the right space to keep that salon up. So even if it's just 5 pages of a book or one audio a day, commit your time. It can be 10 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, whatever you feel is going to work for you. It could be an audio in the car, it could be something when you're in the shower. Just commit to that time to keep your mind growing because it benefits you more than you will know. People need to see the change and be attracted to you. When you grow as a person, you may not realize it, but everything around you changes and you change, and people are attracted to that. You will use different wording in your social media posts. You will look slightly different in your social media posts. You will approach people differently. You will act differently. You will wear slightly different clothes. It happens without you even noticing, but it's all to do with these little changes that you make. And like I say, do not make it an hour long if you've never done it before. Baby steps. Now, live, sleep, and breathe your goal. Focus your personal development around that goal. So what I mean by this is, if your goal is area qual at the end of 90 days, your personal development could be every day a story about somebody going area qual, because their views will help you view your business the way they viewed theirs, but also they'll help you view your business differently and in a way that maybe you haven't thought about it. And it's inspiration. Take what they're saying, listen to their words. And when I say live, sleep, and breathe your goal, that will help you with your personal development. So tie it into your goal, tie it into your life. Don't make it something that you feel like you have to go out of your way to do. Weave it into every day. So the plans you're going to make, you need to make your 90-day plan, your goal, okay? And you need to set it out. You need to be revising weekly if you're on track. A bit like Jade and Carol did with our forms we had at each of every month. We had to look back, didn't we, and analyse. You need to make sure that you're hitting the targets you set out for yourself. So do that weekly. Do it daily if you want. If it keeps you on track, do it daily. But when I say 30, 60, and 90 days, it's making sure that you look back at that whole 30 days or that whole 60 days and say, that week worked. Why didn't that week work? But then actually, that week, 50 days on, I got loads of activity there because it was from that activity I did then. Try and look at it. So you're looking at the weeks of 50 days on, the activity you did that first week, 50 days on, look at what you're achieving from that. Take it as in they are your results and have a look, okay? I can go through that with people if you need me to. I actually remember writing in my diary, my diary's downstairs, I meant to bring it up. There was this one week in, I think it was December, and I wrote across this week, I did no Arbonne activity this week. And then there was a week, about 3 or 4 weeks later, however many days, where I got no QV in, nothing. I thought, hang on a minute, I'm going to look back. And sure enough, that was the week that I wrote, I did no activity this week. I scribbled it right across the week because I thought, I haven't done it and I need to remind myself why that's happened. So it's always a cycle, always. So analyse, like I said, when was your best month to date with Arbonne? Look back, think about what you did, what actions you took to create those results, and write down everything you can think of. So I'm just going to go through what happened. It was October last year, and I decided I was going to go Region Quell. Now, the most our area had ever achieved was 9,000, bar going area qual, where it was 10,000 steady over 3 months. My biggest month was only 9,000 after becoming an area. I just made the decision that I was going Region Qual. It didn't happen, and halfway through the month, I had a call from Fiona McCarthy, and she said to me, Emma, so what's happening? You're going Region Qual? I said, no. She went, oh, well, that's honest. I said, no, I'm not going Region Qual. It's not going to happen this month, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to hit my goal. Then changed to area bonus. So it was 20,000 I wanted. And I said, no, I will go Region Qual the month after. We finished on 17,566 QV. I have never in my life achieved anything like that. And I looked back, and just so you guys know, as a little bit of an incentive, I was a paid as area at this point. And I think my paycheck, I should have looked, my paycheck was 1,500 and something. And for me, for how many hours when I broke that down, I did less than part-time hours, realistically, because I had a child to look after and it was the middle of lockdown. So when you work out the money, it's amazing. Anyway, so I looked back on what I did. We achieved 50 sign-ups. So it was free sign-up, and we did 50 sign-ups. One of the biggest things that got my personal QV was the age well set. I sent it out on trials everywhere, and I found my notes. I sent it out on 8 trials, 8 3-day trials. They got the full kit, they got the instructions, everything. 8 trials came back. I sold 6 full age well sets from 8 trials. I think half of them were at PC price. I didn't check this. Half are at PC price, half are at IC price. But if you look at your ratio of going out and sending out 8 trials to sell 6 age well sets, that's insane. That's way over half. So that worked so well for me. We did online parties. I used OneStream a lot at that point, because at some nights I would have 2 parties and I'd need to be streaming and making the most of my time. I got samples all the time, and I was religious with my 30 days, with my miracle morning, and with my exercise, because I know that works for me. But I did not miss a miracle morning. I didn't up until December, I don't think. And every single day, Saturday, Sunday, I was there, because it became part of my life. I loved it. I still love it. So go back and look at what you did and when you had your biggest month, and try and look at whether you're still doing that now, because I think you'll be shocked. If you're not seeing the results, go back and analyze, and you'll be shocked at what maybe you're not doing now. You'll think, actually, I need to do that again. So, like I said, break it down completely. How much time do you have each day? Ideally, this needs to be done over 7 days, but sometimes that's not doable for a lot of people. So choose minimum of 5 days to do this over. Do it, and if 7's too much for you, look in your diary and figure out where you can put these slots in, where you can put this activity in. We've been through this before, but if you know you're doing it for 90 days and you've got to block this time out to get these certain activities done, it feels less pressure. It feels easier, and it feels like you're going to see these results in 90 days. And it's a really achievable goal, and it's something to look forward to. So literally analyze every single day you have and where you can put that time in. Now, actions. These are just some ideas, and this is something I've come across a lot of the time, and I didn't do it in the beginning. I did some research of having your own business, and sometimes in Arbonne, what we don't do is treat this like a proper business. We treat it like it's extra money, but it is a business at the end of the day. 10% of your earnings at least should go back into your business every single month. If you're buying samples, but you can't afford them, you should be taking that 10% out. If you need to buy training tickets, whatever, it should come out of that 10% a month. That's the minimum, because for a lot of people, this is, like we say, extra money. So we live to our means, don't we? We spend that extra money on something we have in our head beforehand. Always take out 10% and put it back into your business. Always. And that's where I lead into samples. So we can use host rewards. We can utilize host rewards, which aren't fully working at the moment, I don't think. Something will come back the same. Are they working at the moment, Jade, host rewards?
The perks have just gone live today.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll figure that out.
We explained more, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll look into that, but use the system, play the system the way we all do. Use it like a proper business tool that it should be. Get your protein sachets on your host rewards. Get your fizz sticks on your host rewards. This is what I'm talking about using this week for, this prep week. Get your little envelopes, get everything set up. Jade did a brilliant training last year. I think it was last year. It might have been earlier this year, where she spoke about all the samples she'd set up, like the crates for the sample boxes, where she could just ask on Instagram if somebody wants a sample, pops the address on it, goes straight in the post. It's already done for you. You're already organised and it's there. Parties. We used to be the nation that partied harder than any when it came to product parties. When Sally and I joined the company, we had, at the end of these 6 weeks, we were absolutely exhausted, granted, but we must have had at least 3 parties a week in person, right? Jade was there, Laura Leggett came one point, we met Rachel, Kaylee was there, everyone was helping us out. But it was such a thrill. It was so exciting. We can't 100% do that. We can 6 people in the houses. Some people are uneasy about it now. You have to make that call yourself, but turn your Facebook parties into that buzz. Find your niche on the Facebook parties. Danny does some incredible templates. They are so packed full of information. But use what we've got. We have some simpler ones. We have some nutrition ones. We have WhatsApp parties now, which work really well because they're really intimate and people aren't as scared to post. There's no algorithms to battle with. They're brilliant. Use all these different things, okay? We have so much there that's already done for you. Don't make it difficult. There's so many times, I think, we see people trying to repurpose the content and making it into their own. Just use what's there. Use what's there for your time. Recommendations, a huge part, just on the table, a huge part of our business is word of mouth. And I look back at my hairdressing and think that is exactly how I built my client base, through social media and word of mouth. We're a product-based company. Any product-based company is word of mouth. Start getting sample pots out to people. Use your products. Like Rach said last week, your products are little employees waiting to go to work. Get your sample pots out, put your samples in, and just get them to your next door neighbour. Look, just do me a favour, try these, give me a review. I guarantee you she'll like something. She may not buy right away, but she'll tell a friend about it. Her friend will be interested. And she might want some samples. She will buy something. But as soon as her friend starts buying something, your neighbour will think, oh, actually, yeah, I'm going to buy that because so-and-so is using it as well now. I had somebody off Instagram who I'd been talking to for a long time, one in 30 days. She went, I spied pineapple fizz sticks the other day. I thought, I haven't put anything on. So I asked her, I said, I haven't put anything on about pineapple fizz sticks. She was like, oh, ever since I've been talking to you, our one's been popping up everywhere for me. That's just the way it works. People will start to see everything anywhere. So use your social media, use recommendations, and this is something that really works. Use other companies that aren't in direct conflict with you. So wax melt companies, Usborne Books. I don't know all of them, and Summers. None of them are in conflict with us. Join up and do Facebook parties. Say to the people you know on Facebook or Instagram, hey, don't suppose you fancy doing a party where I have half an hour or I help the floor for half an hour, then you hold the floor for half an hour, or we'll do it every separate nights. You invite your network, I'll invite my network, and both our networks can see what each other has to offer, and it's helping each other out. People in business won't say no to that. Some companies don't allow you to do it. I know Usborne can be funny, but once you start explaining what it is and once they realise the benefit, it's fine, especially because there's no conflicting products. So use what you've got. Ask the questions to other people. Look at people in the business. Look at people around us in this nation who have done something that you like the idea of doing and quiz them. No one will say no to you. Everybody's willing to help. Now, there's just something I want to show you. Some of you have seen this before. Yes, I've completely forgot I had this. So the 90-day cycle to new habits journal. Right, I don't know if you can see that very well. So it is made by Hayley Duncan and Sandy and Wade Critides. I'm really sorry, I can't say that name. So they are Arbonners, okay? And they have made this book that gives you your daily tasks. You have your mindset, you have your gratitude, you have today's non-negotiables, you have a list of 6 things to do, 20-minute relationship building, 20-minute follow-up, and ticks for Instagram posts, Facebook posts, and then wins for the day. Okay. This whole sheet says 60 minutes. Some people that might be a lot. You could half that and just do half of every column. But the fact that it is there and done for me, I'll just take myself, is the fact that it is there and done for me is brilliant. Okay. You have a section in the front where you have vision casting. You have your whys. You have all sorts, everything. 100-person list. Who you contacted, everything is there, and it is 90 days. One other thing you need to remember is, I know it says 20 days to change a habit, but it's actually 66 days to implement and solidify a habit. 22 days, it's you're enjoying it, you're excited, you're up every day, you're doing it like it's good, you don't miss a beat. The next 22 days is the hardest part of your 66 days. It's the part where you're saying, oh, this is getting hard now. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Getting up at 6 o'clock to get this done is just not something I want to do right now. Towards the end of that middle 22 days, you'll start to think, this is a doddle. And your last 22 days will be a dream for you because it will be a second nature and you will never go back. So if you can carve out a day, an hour a day, and get all of that done to achieve your goal in 90 days, what's it worth to you? An hour for developing everything about you personally, professionally, business-wise. What's it worth to you? Because I know to me, it's the difference between having to go back to work full-time or not. So what's it worth to you? That is the end of my training. I'm going to stop recording and then we can just chat for a second. So we have 15 minutes before we do. Right, I've just got to stop. Right, where do I stop recording? Come on. Right, I need to pause my share. No, I don't. Stop share. And stop recording.